Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get the session started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hope elect, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb. This is your brother Da, marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. So, like, yeah, this is your brother Da from the Atlanta camp. Again, Esau, I'm going to title this number. It's going to be my number 2. I'm going to do a couple series on this. White on white crime. We know that the so-called white man is the biblical Edomites. But white on white crime is the biggest kept secret in the universe. And I'm not doing these series because I'm concerned for the so-called group of Edomites who are a victim to the wickedness of their own race of people, who are also Edomites, aka white people. I'm showing this to show the hypocrisy of this race of people, the wickedness of their system, and the fact that, like the precept in Ecclesiasticus says, he who is wicked to himself, how can he be good to another? And this is some more information coming out on the fucking COVID, the snake juice. Check this out. So I'm going to come back to this guy in the video. It's a 20-minute video. I can't show it all because of the sake of time, but you guys gotta check this out. This guy right here says some pretty powerful shit. He's finally vocalizing some well-needed words. But check this out in the beginning, and I'm gonna come back to I'm gonna start at the 9-minute marker. But check this out.
Why would a booster allow a cancer to come back? Well, it turned out it's very simple, that boosters suppress the T-cell response. The first two will increase it a bit, but a booster...
So there's a cancer explosion that's taking place all over the earth, and these Edomite doctors are connecting it to the snake bite.
Suppresses it. And that's exactly what we found. But then a group from Madrid published a wonderful paper saying T-cell exhaustion after third COVID vaccine in cancer patients, with an incredible data. It showed it very, very clearly. And so therefore, any cancer suppressed and controlled by the immune system, you suspect might pop up after the booster.
So I want to remind people how we got the mRNA vaccine. It was never tested successfully, and the vaccine, they never had a successful coronavirus vaccine. But they really, really wanted to push this mRNA vaccine. And this is from the Milken Institute with Dr. Fauci, and he's telling you how they're going to have to scare the hell out of people and make them more afraid of a coronavirus than they should be, so then they can institute the rollout of mRNA shots. I don't even call them vaccines, but let's listen. It's very short.
Why don't we blow the system up? I mean, obviously we can't just turn off the spigot on the system we have and then say, hey, everyone in the world should get this new vaccine we haven't given to anyone yet. But there must be some way that we grow vaccines mostly in eggs, the way we did in 1947.
You know why? Because we've been proven that works, and it's less toxic than an MR. So he's saying, why can't we just force this? You heard him. Why do we just force this on everybody? How do we got to get off the old vaccines that everybody's used to taking in there?
Hey, first of all, let's get the law real quick. I just thought about it. Well, the Spirit put this on my head. We're not supposed to make cuttings in our flesh, and we also have been given leaves and herbs for the healing of the nations. And Esau doesn't go this route because there's no money in healing of the nations. There's only money in monetizing disease. That's like the same way he monetizes death and disease is the same way he monetizes the criminal system. He gets on TV all day long and complains about the criminal activities of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But he doesn't want to do anything about it because he makes a lot of money monetizing it. No cuts in thy flesh. No cuts in thy flesh. Let's see what pulls up. Leviticus 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh. This means vaccines. You're not supposed to get shots, you guys. And you wouldn't need to get shots and trust in Esau, the so-called white man's medicine, if you understood herbs if you understood the diet, you're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to eat fucking catfish. You're not supposed to eat oysters. You're not supposed to eat fucking shrimp and lobster. You're not supposed to eat this shit. You're not supposed to eat unclean animals because inside those animals is where you get your parasites, and it is coming out now that parasites are the number one leading cause for all these different diseases. Check this out. Let's go to it. Check this out. Check this out. And it makes absolute sense. The Most High even killed men in the Bible using parasites or worms. There's 2 different accounts, at least 2 or 3 different accounts, where a man was eaten of worms. Those were parasites just devouring his fucking ass. Look.
Here's some evidence. Did you guys see that? Let's go ahead and play that again real quick. Yep.
That's a tumor, but inside of it, there's a bunch of fucking worms. And what's the tumor? The body is trying to, like a pearl in an oyster. A pearl is created when inside the oyster dirt gets inside the shell. So the oyster creates this secretion. It's like a tumor to protect its flesh from the cuttings of the dirt. And so that secretion circulates around that foreign object, and it continues to do that over and over again until a pearl is created. That's kind of what you're seeing here.
Going to be a tumor, and there we go, worms. Those are worms inside the tumor. That's why the body walls the parasites off. It actually becomes a defense mechanism to the parasites and the eggs. So the body is not going to attack it because the immune system isn't going to...
You can fucking see it. Look at it. It's like 50 fucking worms. Now those worms, they eat and they shit and they piss. And when they shit and piss, that's what makes you fucking sick. You have living fucking outside organisms living off of you, and then when they fucking defecate and urinate inside of you, just like, do you think if you would get fucking an open cut and somebody pissed on your cut or smeared a fucking piece of shit loaf on your open wound, it wouldn't make you fucking sick? You're goddamn right it'd make you sick. That's what these things are doing. Esau knows this, and he has said nothing about worms. And what destroys or kills worms? Black seed oil, oregano oil, wormwood, all these different fucking clove oil, all these different fucking herbs that are grown from the ground. But why do these herbs and oils affect these worms? Because the Most High, it goes back again, you guys. It goes to what? He has created 2, and they are set against themselves. He has created, it's in Ecclesiastes, he has created 2, and they are set against each other. There's a right and a left to everything, and they are set against each other. They are set against each other. I'm paraphrasing. It's Ecclesiasticus. There it is. 2 are better. No, Ecclesiasticus. He has created 2, and they are set against each other. Not better. It's Ecclesiasticus. Oh man, there we go. Salakia. All things are double. All things are double, one against another, and he hath made nothing imperfect. Okay, there's a right hand and a left hand. When you go into Tobit, look at this. Listen, you got to see this, man. Tobit, Salakia, Tobit, Tobias makes a smoke. Watch. And the smoke removes the unclean spirit. Asmodeus, the witch smell when look at this. So look, so go back. So the right-handed angel, and as he went, okay, Tobit 8:2, and as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, the right-handed angel. So Tobit is this book is a record of the Northern Kingdom. These are Latinos and Native Americans. They have been separated from the Southern Kingdom, and they are in Nineveh. They are under the Assyrian rulership. They were the first to get taken out and go to captivity after Egypt. There's a girl, I believe her name is Sarah. I'm paraphrasing it, but you guys, this is an amazing book. It's in the Apocrypha. You have to read it. This is our heritage. There's a left-handed power named Asmodeus, and he has been sent by the Most High. And he is standing over this girl's life, and she's a virgin. She's a Hebrew Israelite. And every time she tries to get married to a Hebrew Israelite man, right before he's able to consummate the marriage, the left-handed power murders or kills the man in judgment. And is terrorizing this portion of the land, and nobody knows why. So she prays a prayer. You know, Yahweh, please forgive me, kill me if you're not going to let me get married. And Tobit prays a prayer. And so now Raphael is sent, and Raphael comes in the form of a man, and he helps Tobit lead Tobias. Tobit is the father, Tobias is the son. Tobit has left some money hidden somewhere with a family. And he sends him to go get this money. He sends him on a journey. And so the angel Raphael, as a man, leads him. A big old fish jumps out of the river to try to eat Tobias. Raphael tells him to catch the fish. He says, get the liver or get the gall and get something else. So he gets oil. He gets something that's like got oil in it from the fish. And then he gets like one of the organs. And so then Tobit asks him, what do I got this for? The oil is to heal blindness of eyes. So he ends up healing the blindness of his father. The liver or the organ is to burn incense with fragrance. And when you burn the incense, the devil, when he smells it, it will make him leave. Because Raphael tells him, you got to marry this girl. And so this girl, she's famous. Because every time she tries to get married, her man supernaturally dies. And everybody knows that there's a spirit. They've named him the name of Asmodeus, and they say that he's in love with her, and every time she tries to get married, he kills the guy. So Raphael tells him, you're going to burn incense with this before you enter in the marriage chamber, and when Asmodeus smells the smoke, it's going to supernaturally release his hold on this girl. His time will be up, and then I'm going to arrest him and take him back to Yahweh. I'm paraphrasing. What do you see? You see the right hand ordering the Hebrew Israelites on how to function to supernaturally make something be dispelled from their life by burning incense. It's the same with oregano oil. It's the same with clove oil. It's the same with black seed oil and these herbs that when you eat them, there's a supernatural right-handed purpose that they affect and attack the left-handed diseases that are in our bodies as a result of the curses, as a result of us living and following after everything Esau Edom tells us, and a result of us eating an unclean diet. You can't just put everything in your fucking mouth. And this video is showing you. You're seeing it. How the fuck did those things get in the body? You were eating shit you were not supposed to fucking eat. You were touching things you didn't know you were supposed to touch. Or what does the scripture say in Amos? Behold, if evil takes place in the land, I have sent it. I did it. You're doing something that you don't realize you're supposed to be doing. And these things affect the health of everybody. And nobody knows. You have to get to the root of the problem. And not deal with the root. You have to get to the root of the problem. Okay? You got to get to the root, and that's the root. Not the symptoms, what's causing the symptoms. If you got worms shitting and pissing in your body, you can take medication all day long because of the symptoms they're causing you. You got to remove those fucking worms from your body, and you got to know what to eat to remove those. So look at this story, Tobit 8:2. And he went, and he remembered the words of Raphael, and he took the ashes of the perfumes and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon and made a smoke therewith. He burnt an incense, and the which smell, when the evil spirit he smelled it. So look, what do you see here? The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to the pulling down of strongholds. He didn't use a gun. He didn't use a bat or a knife. He didn't even talk. He didn't even cuss him out. All he did was follow the instructions of the angel, and he burnt the liver with the incense. It was a burnt offering, you guys, just like we do at the altar. And isn't not our bodies the altar, or the living, or are not our bodies the living sacrifice? And the witch to smell, when the evil spirit smelled it, he fled into the utmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. And basically, Raphael sent him back to Yahweh, and his assignment was completed. Right here, you see the clapping of the hands of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You see two powers that were sent for both purposes. Yahweh sent Raphael, Asmodeus, to kill those 6 men. But it stopped when Tobias got the instruction from the right hand on how to marry this girl. It's a type and shadow of Yahweh Shai and the elect, you guys. It's a type and shadow of all the slaveries that we've been through. And we have to do things a certain way. Okay, you see.
This is a message for humanity that I need to read to you. First, I just want to mention that. Let me tell you. I have sent a message.
Hold on. Oh, boobies. Salakia. Let me get. Watch the boobies. Gotta have boobies. Watch out. Whoa. Salakia, you guys. Never mind. Boobies. Hold on. Hey man, I gotta look at curves every now and then. So look. Let me see parasites. Here's the guy right here.
Some people really think they're
this guy right here. I just got on this dude's if you guys see this guy, if you have Instagram, check him out. He shows a lot of stuff.
Exactly what will happen if you soak your feet.
You're looking at worms that are coming out. Look how fucking huge that thing is. That's what's making everybody sick. And Esau is not talking about this stuff. Okay, so you can't trust this guy. What is it? And I didn't mean to go off on such a high tangent. I didn't mean to go, but there's things. You have left-handed things and you have right-handed things. You have everything's created in twos and they're set against each other. And there is an answer to these things, and it's not fucking vaccines. Remember, the so-called fucking white man is the border of wickedness. He's not going to tell you the truth. He's going to tell you a lie, and he's going to get you to trust in a lie. And the longer you trust in him, the more you're going to die. Now his tongues are beginning to fall upon himself, and his own people are beginning to realize what's going on. And the whole point for this lesson is to show you the evil, the wickedness, the white-on-white crimeness of Esau. Do we care about him killing his own people? No. But we want to point this out, that he doesn't give a fuck about his own people. And the professionals of his own system are beginning to point his shit out, which is showing you that we are very near to what prophecy says is called Yahweh Shaphat, Jacob's trouble. The worst time in human history is coming.
Their flu shot, we got to get something new on them. And here's what Fauci says.
In order to make the transition from getting out of the tried and true.
And this faggot never once mentions parasites. They just want to stick you with their needles. They understand that parasites are inside of you making you sick. They don't want you to know about how to remove the parasites. They just want to manage your symptoms so they can also kill you, and they can make billions of dollars off you. Trillions. These fucking people are devils, man.
Egg growing, which we know gives us results that can be, beneficial. I mean, we've done well with that, to something that has to be much better. You have to prove that this works. And then you've got to go through all of the clinical trials, phase 1s, phase 2s, phase 3, and then show that this particular product is going to be good over a period of years.
Of course, they didn't do that with the mRNA vaccine. It was rushed through. It's called warp speed. Is there a better way to bring a medicine to market than at warp speed? And so, of course, they didn't.
You don't need those medicines. You need to know the elements that Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai has already placed in the earth, because he's created two of everything and they're set against each other. You need to learn when to take something from the right hand and apply it to what the left hand is doing to you. You just saw it in the book of Tobit. You see it here. If you go back further in the book, early in the book, when the angel is walking with Tobias, after Tobias catches the fish, Raphael tells him, hey, get the gull, get the liver, and get the gall. The gall's for oil to heal the eyes, and the liver is to make a smoke. He's like, well, why do I need this? He's like, you're going to need the oil to heal your father's eyes, and you're going to need to burn the smoke to free that girl so you can marry her. Right there, bro. You see the blindness in his father being healed by the oil, and you see the virgin being set free from the left-handed power in order to get married to the righteous man in the first place, because he follows the instruction of the right-handed angel to burn incense before he marries her. Esau won't tell you these things. He's going to say what? You got to trust in white Jesus, and you got to take my needles and let me inject my liquids into you with his fair speech. That's what he's going to do.
Medicine to market that at warp speed. And
there's a difference. And everybody that listened to this motherfucker, watch. We're going to show you now. Let's come down to this guy right here. This guy right here.
We actually now have over 100 studies showing that the mRNA shots induce cancer or promote cancer by 17 distinct mechanisms. He mentioned T-cell exhaustion was one of them. You also have turning off of tumor suppressor genes, P53 and BRCA, hyperinflammation, overall immune dysregulation, as well as just literally decimating multiple organ systems at the same time because it goes everywhere in the body.
This guy right here. There's
exactly how I deworm.
He's got one of his videos. He shows how parasites live on heavy metals. I don't know which one it is. I don't know which one it is. I'm telling you. Look, find out. Oh my God, got worms. Find out who this guy is. That's all he does. It says, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has blessed this guy with the desire to find out about this shit. And this is all he fucking talks about. Case upon case. One of these videos, he goes into how the worms eat heavy metals. And right when he said that the Spirit quickened me to what is one of the works that Yahweh does for the elect? He refines us like fire, right? So that we come forth as pure gold. So what is the refining process of gold? It's called smelting, where you heat the metal up 7 different times. You got to let it cool, then you bring it back to a liquid state, and every time you're bringing it to a liquid state, all the other impure metals are coming to the surface, and you scrape that off, you let it cool, and then you melt it down again. Well, that's what the seven captivities have been for the elect. That's what Jacob's trouble is going to be for the elect. Well, these worms, they live on heavy metals, and they are a left-handed function. So the right-handed function is to get the heavy metals out of your body. And how you get heavy metals out of your body is you use diatomaceous earth, or you use what I just started using 2 nights ago, bentonite clay, or oh man, what's it called? It's a carbon. It's black. Fuck, man, Salaki, I can't remember. Brain farting it right now. I can see it. Because these things have a negative charge. What does that mean? You got negative and positive. You have right and left, up and down, night and day. When a negative element goes through your bowels, it pulls all the positively charged elements, impurities that are in your gut into itself like a magnet, and then you crap it out. And bentonite clay, it's from the earth. That's where we were created. I just started drinking. I bought about 5 pounds of it the other day. You take a teaspoon of it and you add it to some purified water, a cup, and you let it sit for like an hour, because in its powder form, but it has to absorb the water, and you shake it. You shake it a couple times during the hour, and then it turns into this cloudy mud in the water, and you drink it. You guys, it even has like a decent taste. It doesn't even taste bad. I'm telling you. And then but you drink it late at night before you go to bed, and it will pull as you're doing your parasite cleanse. You're taking your clove oil, you're taking your black seed oil, you're taking your parasite cleanse, because as the parasites are dying in your body, they're crapping, they're pissing, and their bodies are getting the oils in the clove oil or the oregano oil. It's like an acid. It literally dissolves them. They don't have a defense against it. It's set up by the right hand to be against what they're doing. And so when they get broken down, all the impurities that they're holding inside their body get released all at once. And so you'll feel sick. And then when you take the bentonite clay, it magnetizingly pulls all that poison out of your body, and then you poop it out. That's the process. Okay, but when this guy was talking about how these these parasites eat unclean or heavy metals, the spirit quickened in my mind, like, oh my God, that's why. What is Esau doing, you guys? He's spraying the sky with aluminum and barium. Those are heavy metals. He is purposely defiling our bodies with heavy metals to feed the parasites in our bodies, to make us sick, so that you have to go get his vaccination, which will then kill you, because it's not going to heal you. Oil of oregano and black seed oil is going to heal you. Clove oil and wormwood root or whatever, all those bitter herbs, those are what you take to heal you. Like you see right here. The smell, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into it. When Tobias followed the instruction of Raphael and burnt that incense, it made the unclean spirit go. There is a method on the right hand that overcomes everything on the left hand. But you have to get the information from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, from the prophets, from these scriptures. And you got to follow them. Going back into Esau being white on white crime. Listen to what he's done.
Body. And, it's just a massive list. It's an absolutely massive list of mechanisms. But, the epidemiological data is undeniable. We have 4 major data sets.
Okay, sorry, I keep talking. I'm gonna say this one thing, then I'm gonna finish. There is absolutely no healing in the medicine of Esau. Esau's medicine is about sorcery, and it's about managing the symptoms. You do not heal the body with chemicals. You heal the body with elements. Let me say that again. You do not heal the body with pharmakia. You heal the body with natural applied elements in their natural raw state, applied in a right hand wisdom, knowledge, and understanding manner, if that makes sense. You burn the correct incenses. You eat the correct oils. You eat the correct bitter herbs. You also got to take breaks from them, and that's how you kill the left-handed bugs. And then you pull out all their poisons with stuff like bentonite clay or black seed oil or diatomaceous earth. All of these have a negative charge to them, and they pull this stuff out of your body. I'm gonna let him finish.
And there's 2 in the United States. The first is the CDC Wonder mortality data. There's been 138,000 excess cancer deaths in the United States since the mRNA shots rolled out. Again, 138,000 more cancer deaths than normal. And then we had the SEER data set come out of the National Cancer Institute a few months ago. They found that multiple major cancers increased in young Americans right after the shots rolled out, including stomach cancer, colon cancer, brain tumors. They were up about 19%. So this should not be occurring. And then we had, lastly, Italian and South Korean studies totaling 8.7 million people combined, comparing vaccinated to unvaccinated. And the vaccinated individuals suffered increased risks of 7 major cancers: colon, prostate, breast, thyroid. All these cancers are up in the vaccinated. So it's undeniable, both mechanistically and at the population level.
So there's a chemical called SV40. Now tell me about that, and why has this been found inside the COVID vaccine?
Yeah, SV40 is a portion of the DNA plasmid at the manufacturing process for the Pfizer mRNA injections. Basically, it's there to churn. It's there in the DNA plasmid at the factory to churn out the mRNA, to help churn it out. The DNA plasmids are still in the vials. They don't clean them out. They say they do, but they don't. Over 10 studies have found these DNA plasmids, including SV40 segment of the plasmids in the vials. And so when you inject it into people's arms, it's encased in the lipid nanoparticles. And we know SV40 is the cancer promoting genetic material. And so that's going to get into all of your bodily systems and promote cancer, and actually it possibly inserting itself into genomes, portions of this DNA plasmid. And we demonstrated that in a peer-reviewed study. We found a segment of this so-called vaccine genetic material fused in chromosome 19 in a stage 4 turbo bladder cancer patient. And so, it's very bad. It's very, very bad. And that's another mechanism of promoting cancer, is insertional mutagenesis, or genomic integration of non-human synthetic vaccine DNA, causing uncontrolled cell growth.
And so here's the South Korean study you were talking about. 1 year risk of cancers associated with COVID-19 vaccination, a large population-based cohort study in South Korea. And I'll just read you a couple of lines from this. The oxygenogenic potential of SARS-CoV-2 has been hypothetically proposed, but real-world data on the COVID-19 infection and vaccination are insufficient. Therefore, this large-scale population-based retrospective study in Seoul, South Korea, aimed to estimate the cumulative incidences of subsequent risks of overall cancers 1 year after COVID-19 vaccination. Data from over 8 million individuals between 21 and 23 were obtained from the Korean National Health Insurance database. The participants were categorized into two groups based on their COVID-19 vaccination status. The risks for overall cancers were assessed using multivariable Cox proportional hazard models, and data were expressed as hazard ratios with a 95% confidence interval. The thyroid cancer, gastric cancer, colorectal cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer, and prostate cancer significantly increased at a 1 year post-vaccination. So that's a gigantic study, 8 million people. And so why do you think that today this is still happening? That they're still giving out free mRNA COVID vaccines at CVS.
This shows you how powerful or how much in rulership the so-called white race is. That this many people that have died, that they have murdered and infected, and with this many professionals coming out and saying, hey, this shit is bad, and no one has gone to jail. Didn't they say that Fauci would never face any type of they broadcasted it, right? Let me see. Let me see. I think Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci didn't get immunity from legal prosecution related to the COVID vaccine. However, former President Biden issued a pardon, protecting him from federal prosecution for any actions during his time in government.
See, I mean, then what the fuck? That's what it is. Yeah, so, and that tells you right there. Remember how the left hand or the left side, I mean the left, the Democrats, oh, they're for the rights of the poor people. Yet here that president is making sure that Dr. Fauci has legal protection. They're all the same. It's all the same, man.
What is going? I mean, is our government just that evil, or are they just that corrupt, or both?
It's both. It's both. And honestly, I don't have a good answer as to why they're doing this.
And it's not your government. It's your nation. It's your race. It's your house, Jimmy. It's your race of people. That's who it is. It's Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness.
It's now, at this point, with all this evidence, it does qualify as a form of homicide. It may be mass.
Now, listen to what he says right here. This was the reason why I wanted to play the whole video. I'm going to let it play a couple times. Watch.
That's negligent. We don't know yet. I don't have a good answer as to why they're doing this. It's now, at this point, with all this evidence, it does qualify as a form of homicide. It may be mass negligent. We don't know yet. I don't have a good answer as to why they're doing this. It's now, at this point, with all this evidence, it does qualify as a form of homicide. It may be mass negligent. We don't know yet. That has to be kind of rolled out. What sort of crime is being committed here now? Because we know it's causing these cancers. We know it's actually caused mass deaths, extreme blood clotting, including white fibrous clots. A study came out on that 2 days ago. 25% of corpses have these long anomalous clots in them now. 75% of embalmers are finding them. So it's criminal. And we know the FDA literally covered up 25 safety signals in early 2021. Ron Johnson's team found that out with internal communications between FDA officials. They literally buried a sudden cardiac death signal. It was killing people, children, teenagers, everybody. And they told the scientists that found those signals to cease and desist, right? So that is a crime to hide death signals from a product you're telling millions of people to get.
And so people have been attacked.
Right, so that is a crime to hide death signals from a product you're telling millions of people to get.
And so people have been attacking that professor. And so I asked Grok, please answer my question succinctly. That professor who's the oncologist, the world-renowned oncologist who's correlating and connecting the shots with cancer. And I said, please answer my question as succinctly as possible without adding commentary or qualifiers. The people attacking the professor, world-renowned oncologist, were wrong about most things to do with COVID in retrospect, like lockdown, school closures, vaccine stopping transmission and contraction, and social distancing, correct? Grok says yes. So there you go. And when you see someone like that on social media, and then you see him being attacked, remember the people attacking him were wrong about everything to do with COVID. You'll see posts like this. He's a world-renowned grifting quack. Right? That's what people say. And so I asked Grok. I says, is this world-renowned oncologist really world-renowned? Is he a leader in the field who was well-respected before he spoke out on COVID? Yes. He is a legitimate, well-respected oncologist with a strong pre-COVID reputation in his field. He's not fringe or unknown. And here's his credentials. He's got great, unbelievable credentials. He's held senior roles in oncology and immunology for decades. And he's discovered of CD4 as a major receptor for HIV. He pioneered work on cancer, immunotherapy, and vaccine. And he's contributed to the development of something I can't pronounce, which led to him receiving the Joshua Lederberg Prize in 2011.
So this guy got slandered, obviously, when he started talking shit about what the higher-up Edomites were doing. Typical, huh? Let me see. Hold on. I want to get this guy. There he goes. This guy's going to say something. Watch.
Again.
It's going to take
people to realize that they were lied to about COVID on a scale their brains cannot comprehend.
It's going to take an injury or death in their family from one of these products. I think in the end, particularly for those who have received 6, 7, 8, 9 mRNA booster shots, while something bad may not have happened to them or somebody they know, the moment something does, that's when most people wake up. And that's what I've seen. Now, but it's very sad for people who have taken 6 booster shots. Our autopsy study recently came out and found basically their hearts look like Swiss cheese under the microscope, not with holes, but with multiple micro scars. And so these shots literally cause little microscopic scars throughout the heart that lead to sudden death.
Do you think we'll ever have a person who's, like when Walter...
Listen to this. This is the part.
Cronkite turned on the Vietnam War. That's what they said it was the end of the... Do you think that there'll be someone who's respected in society that comes out and says something about this, that people will finally wake up?
I think it's going to have to come from the propaganda mainstream media outlets that these individuals religiously watch. It's going to have to come from CNN, and all these other outlets, unfortunately. And so, but they're captured by Big Pharma, they're captured by Pfizer. And so, it's going to be very difficult to get that to happen. But it needs to happen for the sake of public safety. We had an ongoing long-term mass casualty event, right? We have to put an end to it somehow.
Nicholas Holscher at the McCullough Foundation, I appreciate you taking time to help explain all this to everybody. Everybody should follow you on X, on Twitter.
So, who's the man that's behind all this? What does the scripture say? He is as death. He is as death. And hell follows behind him. Hell is a condition on the earth, and you see the condition of everyone's full of diseases in America behind the so-called white man's medicine. Habakkuk 2:5, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, that means his philosophies. He was manipulating the whole world through his media that you got to take his shot in order to get healthy, to not get sick and die, when the whole time he hasn't been telling you anything about parasites, how to clean your body out from parasites, that's the ultimate root cause of death through those types of diseases that those parasites cause. He hasn't mentioned nothing about the root of the cause, but he focuses on the fruit response or reaction of the root, and then tells you, hey, I got something to stick in you that's going to make you better, and it's a lie. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. All the trillions of dollars this fucker's making, and he wants to make more and more and more at our expense. But gathereth unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto himself all people. This is talking about the so-called fucking white man. A sword. The sword is sharpened. You have to understand, we have to discern what's happening, that Jacob's trouble is around the corner, man. Ezekiel 21:9, Son of man, prophecy, and say, thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make myrrh? Should we be, caught up partying? Should we be focused only on sports, the fucking World Cup, the goddamn Super Bowl, the fucking dude? It's ridiculous how this shit's going on, and that's all motherfuckers give a fuck about. It's the goddamn fucking World Cup and the Super Bowl and the reality TV shows on TV. It's fucking mind-blowing. Should we then make myrrh? It contendeth the rod of my son as every tree. And then when you add this to the fucking data centers, man, and everything that's happening. Now, I'm going to title this lesson, White on White Crime is the Biggest Kept Secret, Part 2. But that's not what it's only about. But what I'm showing you is the fact that the amount of Edomites, the amount of white people that Esau publicly killed with this COVID, the amount of Edomites that Esau is publicly affecting with these data centers, that when you see that, you have to interpret that this dude is getting ready to unleash mass death. And what does 2nd Ezra say? Behold, the beginning of great death. And that is what we are coming into. This is what the prophecies say. And you can look at how Esau's moving. You can see the laws he's making, the way he's just removing the American dream is over. And the American dream was a fantasy for all the other nations and the Hebrew Israelites, but it was a partial reality for the so-called lower levels of Esau, the so-called white man. They were actually somewhat living it. They were making money hand over fist with their businesses, living in their fucking nice homes, never being, fucked with by the police. Anytime they had a problem like their drug addictions, they were always humanized on the fucking television. The opiate crisis, it's so bad for them. They need counseling. White people need a hug every time they fuck up. Now, every day you see them being caught for fucking having sex with children. Police officers and white school teachers and court justices, they're all fucking children. The Epstein files has come out and showed the world that they are the number one power behind human sexual child sex trafficking. Now you see what they're doing with their own. They're putting data centers in white neighborhoods and fucking up white people's houses, and the fucking all this shit that came out with the fucking COVID. All the Edomites that were fucking killed, all the white people that died, they are showing you the disdain they have for their own fucking race now, which the rest of us Hebrew Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you need to fucking recognize that. You need to see that and take it as a warning. 2nd Ezra 16:18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And the whole chapter of 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 goes into detail about what we are about to enter into, you guys. We shouldn't be finding out now about how parasites affect the human body with sickness and disease. This is something we should have always known. Yeah, here Esau is only telling you to take his fucking jab, man. All he deals with is the fruit cause. He never, and don't, you know the scriptures say that he does a diligent search. He's smart. He knows that if you remove the parasites, you remove all the sickness and disease. He's never once mentioned that shit. He's never once put a surgical video like this guy right here. He's never put any of this on national TV for the world to see. He's never done
This
that.
should be talked about way more.
Is resistant to worms and parasites. And look at the 1800s. We go through the 1800s. What did the doctors do then? They dewormed you. As the further I got back in history through the 1800s, I started finding books that were published by doctors through the 1800s, books that they read and books that they learned from. And lo and behold, out of every single book were deworming programs, parasite programs, all through America, all through Canada, all through the world, parasite programs, and pictures of parasites that they had found in flesh. For doctors in those days did autopsies, and they found parasites. And the best man I like in America is Dr. Chase out of Chicago. He wrote 3 books. You can get them in the library in the old book section, Dr. Chase. In the center of his book, he's got a whole bunch of remedies for deworming. And you know what? He kept records. I love it. And here's what he stated. For some strange reason, after 40 years of practice, I have asked everybody how often they deworm, and the people that deworm every year never come in for anything. They come in for checkups. They're healthy. And the people that never deworm, except for 2 or 3 years down the road, need some doctoring. And the people that never deworm, well, we're starting a new clinic for them because they have this strange new disease called cancer. And Dr. Chase got an 80% success rate right in Chicago in the 1800s of getting rid of cancer by deworming. So we started to search for parasite programs just to see what was going on, to see if maybe something was happening that we really didn't understand. So I did myself first. Lo and behold, I got 8 and 10-inch critters out of me. They were white. First of all, they were in a toilet water and they were all bunched up. I thought it was mucus. Until, just for a curiosity, I threw some hot water in the toilet to warm it up, and then went, and gosh, they strung out and they were swimming all over. And I thought, oh my heavens, look at that. They're usually white, and there's some of them that look like tarantula spiders. Some of them look like grasshoppers. Some of them look like little tiny miniature sailboats.
They look like demons. They look like monsters. Look at that face, bro. They look like left-handed fucking creatures. And there's a right-handed way to deal with them, and Esau has not told the world this.
Some of them look like little spacecraft. This is really strange stuff. And every single person I have dewormed, I have never yet dewormed anyone where they didn't tell me, hey, I feel 25% better.
And if you are not detoxing and deworming regularly, you should be. I have passed parasites and experienced a complete turnaround in my health, and will always detox and deworm at least 2-3 times a year.
This is an ongoing practice, so I'm still going to name this lesson, White on White Crime, the biggest kept secret 2. But it's not the gist of the lesson. You see what this specific dude. If I know to do right and I don't share it with you, what is that precept? It's in the New Testament. How does the love? If you know to do right, and you don't, how does the love of God dwell in you? How does the love of God dwell in you? Because it doesn't. How does the love of God dwell in you? And it doesn't. So this race of people cannot tell us about Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Look, therefore to him that knoweth to do good. Look at this. The so-called white man has never done this. Therefore he's claimed to do it to get you to listen to him, but it's a lie. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. All right, so that's a transgression. Where's this one? Okay, there it is. But whoso hath this world's goods, 1 John 3:17, Salakia, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him? So this race of people has gone all over the world telling the world about white Jesus. At the same time, never mentioning how to properly heal the human body. Yet, the same race of people has the biggest pharmaceutical reality on planet Earth. Yeah, dude. Something's wrong. They're not who the fuck they say they are. The Bible calls Esau the border of wickedness, man. I'm still going to name this motherfucking lesson, White on White Crime, the biggest kept secret, part 2. But it's to expose this fucker for what it is. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I love from. This is your brother Adash, Shalom.